I think that's, I love that, you know what I mean? I was like, Grace is the one's got to be your best friend, you know, same, because it allows for growth. But when you were talking about your experience and that expectation that we have for things to run smoothly, you know, even when we're grown, we're like, we expected things to run smoothly. And this kind of is like, we talk about motherhood and fatherhood and family and kids too. There's an intersection there, right? Because I know in looking at myself and then looking at couples that I work with, whether they grew up in a household where they saw a lot of arguing and conflict, or they grew up in a household where there was never conflict, the though both of they both converge in a way to say, I have an uncomfortable relationship with conflict, because if I saw it all the time, I don't want to do it, and I don't know how to respond to it, and I don't want it to happen. If I didn't see it at all, I'm like, whoa, what's happening? This is not supposed to happen. If we have a disagreement, things must be falling to pieces. And so you brought up something where it's like our relationship with conflict is so important. And one thing that I do as a mom and encourage my husband and I with our 6-year-old is, if she sees us have a disagreement, that she also knows that we talked it through. If she didn't see it, we tell her, mommy and daddy have big emotions. We talked it through. Because for me, my parents were arguing, and 3 days later, they're fine. I didn't know what happened in the in between. How did you get here? So I think, even though you don't think to do this, we think we're shielding our children, but they see and they feel. So, and they feel the energy of it. So if they see that there's a disagreement, also let them know, hey, we talked it through. We have big emotions. You know, we were able to come to resolution. Mommy and daddy need space to calm down, and then we come back. And that's how we got to being on solid ground again. So I just love that, you know, Ronna, you brought up those expectations, because it kind of brings that piece into the mix of a kind of our relationship with conflict when we come into the marriage, especially in the beginning.
Yeah, and as Rana was talking, I was moving into communication because one of the questions that I wanted to bring up, because I think that communication is very, 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 very important. Whether it's the communication that's not being had or the communication that is being had, because how it's being had is the point, right? So I wanted to ask if you could offer some shifts that can occur so that the communication is more dynamic for success than for failure.
I'd like to say that, kind of building off of what Imani was just talking about when it comes to conflict. Um, I don't know if it's a shift. I guess it is a shift of a mindset that conflict is inevitable. It's everything. It's a part of our biology. There's a push and a pull to everything that we do. You know, you lift up something, there's conflict, right? There's friction. There's everything that we do. So we have to stop trying to avoid conflict, you know, and sidestep and what have you. The goal that each and every one of us has as a coach is to help you have the resources, the tools, the capabilities of navigating that conflict. Snooks and I like to tell a lot of our clients that conflict is inevitable, but combat is optional.
Hmm.
And
I like
too often we have a tendency to get into conflict and think that, okay, that's the guy in the middle of the ring saying, let's get ready to rumble, and then it's supposed to be a fight. And
Mm-hmm.
that's not the case. It's just letting you know that you have differing ideas, and different doesn't mean wrong. It just means that you have
that.
different perspectives about this particular situation or whatever it may be. And now we need to sit down and try and figure out, well, how do we navigate this? So if we remember that it's inevitable, it's going to come in every aspect of our lives, but we don't have to be combative about it. We don't have to create a fight. I think Smith told me once, you don't have to participate in every fight you're invited to. And
Right.
I think that's a shift that should definitely take place. That learn the resources and tools, get them from Imani and her coaching, get them from us, whomever your counselor is or your coach is, to know that there's going to be some things that are perpetual. Some of these things, just because it happens now, doesn't mean you're not going to see it in 5 years. But when it does come back or does circle back around, we know how to deal with it better. Like Imani was talking about. You know, now we don't have to have that 4-hour headache. We can reduce it to an hour. and get those 3 hours back, and love on each other.
Yeah. And I love that you said conflict versus combat, because when you just said it, it clicked and it made sense. So I'm knowing that whoever's listening, it should be clicking and making sense that conflict is okay, combat is not. You don't have to go that hard and that far. So I have some individual questions too for you guys, But I do have a round of questions that I do want to ask. That one thing I want to ask Ernie first, because I know I brought you in, so I wanted to get a male perspective, because I know a lot of times as women and as moms, we have a certain type of energy. And when you as a male can offer to the women that are listening the point of what someone said versus what you actually heard, and vice versa. Because what happens is we say something and we think that you understood what we said, and then we have a problem that what we got back wasn't what you actually heard. So can you offer some insight on that?
I don't know if my insight's going to be valid, because my wife started cracking up as soon as you asked the question. But the one thing I will offer is this: no one's perfect when it comes to communication. We're going to screw it up, and it doesn't matter what your gender is or what your relationship type is. Communication is hard, but there's a saying out there that says, "First seek to understand before being understood."
Right.
And if we simply just clarify more often, and without attitude, just basically saying, okay, so correct me if I'm wrong, if I'm hearing you the way that you've intended, you said A, B, and C. Mm-hmm. I just really want to understand that before I respond. Is that right? Did I get that right? And then, then it's the opportunity to be like, okay, well, no, that's not what I said at all. What I said was, and it's like, okay. All right. So now, okay, so let me get this right. And then you play, it's not a game, but you kind of make sure that if you're going to expend the energy to have this conversation, let's make sure we're having the right conversation. We're both talking about the same thing.